Good morning, everyone. We'll get started as soon as either ACDC or courtroom 2 is ready.
Good morning, Your Honor. We're ready here in courtroom 2. Let me just pull out the guys before you give them their right.
Okay, thank you.
Morning, Judge.
Morning, Mr. Dodd. Hope you're well.
Doing fine. Judge, well, we're waiting. At some point, I'm gonna need, the one that's gonna last longest is the interpreter case, Judge.
Okay.
So the client was an ACDC, but I was told she's in medical, so I'm not really sure where exactly she is. But once we can track her down, Judge, if we can do some kind of a breakout room between me and the interpreter, I'll just want to get her out as quickly as possible as well.
Okay, that's fine. So as soon as and thank you for being here, Madam Interpreter. We appreciate it.
And Mr. Haddad, I need to add a stay away on that position. I'm going to chat you for the sign language one when you communicate it.
Got you. Okay. Thank you, Ms. Deciano.
We're ready, Your Honor.
Okay, so who do we have first?
We have Mr. Brooks. This is position number 8.
Your Honor, that's going to be a plea. I spoke to him this morning.
Okay, very good. Good morning, Mr. Brooks. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Just like, do you swear from the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hands down, Mr. Brooks. Thank you. Good morning, Ms. Falk.
Let me take myself off of mute. Good morning, Your Honor. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you.
All right. So, Mr. Brooks, the recommendation on his case is, let's see, pasting some other notes into my system. Okay, the time served 286 days, credit for time served 143 days. That's from June 15th of 2024. Just so the court is aware, that case was transferred to our office from the Superior Court. We received that case, I believe, on October 30th from Superior Court and then filed it down. So that is the basis for why the case has lingered for so long. Actually, I take it back, it was forwarded to us July 23rd of 2024, and then we prepared the case and moved forward.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Dodd?
Your Honor, we stipulate as far as for purposes of the plea, Judge, and would ask the court to follow the state's recommendation, time served.
Mr. Brooks, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 007390C, you wish to plead guilty to theft by shoplifting. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Brooks. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
We could go to ACDC. Your Honor.
Okay, good morning, Francois.
Good morning, Judge. Hope you're doing well.
Yes, I am. I hope you are as well.
We could
Thank
start
you.
with position number 18.
Okay.
Akila Harris.
Have you had the opportunity to speak with Ms. Harris?
Your Honor, I have, Judge, and Ms. Harris, can you hear me okay? The recommendation is time served, as we discussed the last time, for you to do 8 weeks of anger management and get the BHET, the evaluation. Do you wish to plead guilty today, or you want to plead not guilty?
I plead guilty.
And PD Haddad, just so that I can clarify, it's BHET or 8-week anger management. It's her decision and obviously in consultation with you as to which one she would prefer to do.
That is correct. And I meant to say 8 hours anger management is what we had talked about. I apologize.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great.
And stay away, of course.
Okay. Let's see. Good morning, Ms. Harris. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, and it's my understanding that you do wish to plead guilty to this disorderly conduct charge, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you raise your right hand for me? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down, Ms. Harris. Was there anything further from the state? Did you give the recommendation?
I'll just put it back on the record. Peter Haddad did, covered most, all of it. It's 12 months probation, served 44 days, credit for time served 22 days. That's from October 8th, 2024 until today. Balance probated. Stay away from 2500 Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta, Georgia, and 8 weeks of anger management. We do ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of the plea. That's all for the state.
We stipulate for purposes of the plea, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Harris, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 007200C, you wish to plead guilty to disorderly conduct, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
My claim date, March 11th, 2004.
Okay, did you hear my question about drugs or alcohol? Are you under the
My
influence
claim
of
date is
either?
March 11th. My claim date is March 11th, 2004. The last rehab was off of Winway. I haven't used since.
Oh, okay, all right, so you're not, is that right?
Yes, sir.
So you're not under the influence of any drugs or alcohol, and that's what you're telling me, right?
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. You've been represented by Mr. Haddad. Are you happy with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced you or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
Okay, I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Ms. Harris, Mr. Haddad, do we need to get any social worker services involved for housing or anything of that nature that we can help her out with?
I think we're good, Judge. I had my social worker go out and line things up, so we're good to go.
Okay. Because of her circumstances, I'm gonna waive 3 months of probation fees to help her get through this anger management. And when she completes the terms, it'll go to a non-reporting status. Okay, so Ms. Harris, as soon as you get this 8 weeks of anger management, you're not gonna be on reporting probation, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, Ms. Harris.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Go to position number 43, Mr. Wyman.
Okay.
And this will be a negotiated plea.
It is, Judge. It would be.
Position 44, she said?
43, Carlos Weidman. Good morning, Mr. Weidman. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. Good morning, sir. This is the state good morning. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Weidman. You can place your hand down. Good morning, Mr. Essiano.
Good morning, Your Honor. State's recommendation is 12 months served, 38 days, credit for time served, 19 days. That's from October 18th, 2024 to today. Balance suspended. Stay away from the Quick Trip at 4745 Jonesboro Road in Union City. And we'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and ID for purposes of the plea, nothing further.
We stipulate, Judge.
Mr. Weidman, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 007287J, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, just on medication. It really was soda, drink. It was drink, actually, drink.
Okay, so this morning you're not under the influence of anything, are you?
No, sir, not at all.
Okay.
But,
You've been represented by Mr. Haddad there. Are you happy with what he's done for you?
yes, I am. Happy what he done for me. Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Okay, all right.
Okay, you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
Oh, no, no.
Okay. I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Whiteman. Good luck to you, sir.
All right, thanks.
Thank you,
You're
Judge.
welcome.
Third row.
Okay, third row? Okay.
Number 20, Hill.
Okay. Also a negotiated plea.
That is correct, Judge.
Got it.
Okay. Good morning, Ms. Hill. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please?
Yes, sir.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down, Ms. Hill. Thank you. Yes, Ms. Falk.
Yes, Your Honor. The recommendation on this case is 12 months served 40 days, credit for time served 20 days from October 17th, 2024 until today. Balance probated, 12 weeks of anger management, no further contact with Cora Tillman, and stay away from 6770, Buffington Road in Union City. We would like to sound for Ms. Cora Tillman at this time and do ask the defense to stipulate to venue factual basis and identification for the purposes of the plea. That's all for the state.
Ms. Tillman is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity to do so. Doesn't appear so. Mr. Dodd?
Your Honor, we do stipulate for purpose of the plea. I did want to point out my client has been in custody since the 13th of October. She was first in East Point before her transport to Fulton County, which is why it reflects from the 17th. But in any event, I would ask the court to consider waiving the first 2 months of her probation fees and possibly a non-reporting probation once and if she completes all the conditions. Just non-reporting. I'm not asking to terminate.
Okay. Does she have a place to reside?
She does, Judge. It's in Lithonia in DeKalb County.
All right. Ms. Hill, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 007286Y, you wish to plead guilty to battery. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
No.
Okay, so listen to my
Yeah, I'm
question.
pleading guilty.
Right, listen to my question. Now, you have a right to a trial by jury. That's your right. But by pleading guilty to this charge, you're giving up that right to a trial by jury. You understand that?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Ms. Hill, although I can't waive any fees, I will have it go to a non-reporting status when you complete the terms of the probation. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't be on probation and have to pay those fees, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank
Okay.
you, Judge.
All right. Good luck to you, Ms. Hill.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Next, Your Honor, we can go to position number
Would you mind? Thank you.
33, Mr. Simpson.
And this is also going to be a negotiated plea, is that right?
Yes, Judge, and as the calendar, I think, Ms. DeCiano, I assume, added notes that we're gonna handle 2 cases, Judge. They're both negotiated pleas, Judge.
Okay, and they're both criminal trespasses. It appears. Good morning, Mr. Simpson. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes. Yes,
Okay.
Your Honor.
Thank you. You can place your hand down. Thank you. Yes, Ms. Desiano.
Yes, Your Honor. For position 33, the state's recommendation is 12 months served, 34 days, credit for time served, 17 days. That's from October 20th, 2024 to today. Balance suspended, stay away from all Georgia Tech property. And for the add-on case, 24 CR 007450, 12 months served, 2 days, credit for time served, 1 day. That's from September 15th, 2024. Balance suspended, stay away for all Georgia Tech property. And to be clear, Your Honor, the criminal trespass, the basis for both of these, he was at two completely separate Georgia Tech properties. And so we just want to make clear that these pleas are to stay away from all Georgia Tech property, understanding that that's a large campus, and just make sure that he understands that.
Okay.
And we'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and ID for purposes of the plea.
Judge, we stipulate for purpose of the plea.
Okay. And Ms. Lewis, this is position 33
In the add-on.
in the add-on, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Simpson, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 007151D, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass, and in case 24 CR 007450, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
Nah.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Simpson. You understand that you cannot go back to Georgia Tech property, so you need to stay and make a wide berth around Georgia Tech, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Simpson.
Thank you, Judge.
Welcome. Who do we have next?
Number 41 and 42, Shauna White.
Also a negotiated plea.
It is, Judge.
Good morning, Ms. White. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Okay, you can place your hand down, Ms. White. Thank you. Ms. Desiano?
Your Honor, state's recommendation for position 42 is 12 months served, 18 days, credit for time served, 9 days from October 28th, 2024 to today. Balance probated, no further contact with LaToya Dunn, 8 weeks of anger management, 40 hours of community service, no firearms. And position 41 will be null prost upon the plea to position 42. We'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and ID for purposes of the plea, and if Your Honor can sound for Miss LaToya Dunn.
If Ms. Dunn is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Doesn't appear so. Mr. Haddad?
Judge, we would stipulate for purpose of the plea. I would just ask the court to consider placing the case on non-reporting and allow her to report by phone. Ms. White does not live, she lives in Haralson County in Bremen, or Bremen, I guess. And she actually turned herself in before being transported to Fulton County to address this case. She's not going to be released right away. She's got a felony hold that I'm trying to get her in court earlier. I think it's scheduled right now for November the 21st. But in any event, Judge, I would just ask the court to follow the state's recommendation, but consider placing her in non-reporting and more importantly, to allow her to phone in once she's released, Judge.
Okay. Give me just a moment. We're in the courtroom, this morning and,
Absolutely, Judge.
thank you.
Broke your computer phone. You broke your computer phone now.
Ms. Strong, are you on with me?
Yes, sir.
Would you, see if you can have Mr. Jordan check into getting me a deputy for this courtroom, please?
Sure.
All right, thank you. Um, Ms. White, it's my understanding that in case 23 CR 008390E, you wish to plead guilty to battery, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented, by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury, on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
42. I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Ms. White. Let's see, when you complete the terms of the probation, I'll have it go to a non-reporting status. And because of where you live, I will allow you to report by phone, okay?
Thank you, sir.
All
Thank you,
right,
Judge.
as soon as you get the terms done, you won't have to pay those fees and you won't have to continue reporting by phone, okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck to you, Ms. White.
Thank you.
Next, we can go to petition number 28, Mr. Matthews.
Also a negotiated plea.
Judge, I think it's Mr. White's
Yes,
case.
this is Mr. White.
That's correct, Judge. It is a negotiated plea.
All right, good morning, Mr. White, thank you.
Good morning. Your Honor.
When did I get it? Figuring out who-
Do we need to go on to someone else? Does he need to speak more extensively with someone, Mr. Haddad? Morning, thank you.
Your Honor, we lost connection.
Oh,
with the
okay.
courtroom.
Cause he came to me yesterday.
Oh, okay, I understand.
He just talking. but
That's fine, that's
really
fine.
like telling me what really
Do
going on.
do you need some more time to speak with him, Mr. Dodd?
No, I think we're gonna plead him not guilty, Judge. We're trying to reconnect from courtroom 2 right now.
Okay, all right, so, this is position number 28, Mr. Matthews, so are you gonna file a waiver in that case, Mr. White?
I will.
Okay, thank you. So I guess we will have to be in recess until we can get a connection,
Your Honor,
unless we can continue on the laptop.
I mean, I'm good with continuing on the laptop, Judge,
And do we know where the person who's gonna need the interpreter is this morning?
Hey, do you know where Wonderla Pritchett is? She's position, she's in medical. Where are they gonna bring her to medical?
She's in medical, Judge.
Okay, all
So-
right, so,
They're gonna have to bring her in front of the iPhone.
okay, all right,
Yeah.
so,
Your Honor, I did send an email to PD Haddad. I'm not sure if he received it. I responded this morning to an email he had sent me about position 1, which is not being brought out. The state revoked our offer, but I did want to speak with Your Honor and PD Haddad about this case in particular in a breakout.
And that would be Mr. White, actually. He's
Oh, my apologies. So Mr. White and PD White and Miss Judge Morrow, I would like to speak to you about Mr. Benton's case.
okay. Well, since we're down, you want to do that now?
Well, that's,
Okay.
yes, that's why I was
Okay.
proposing it.
Okay.
Hopefully it could burn some time.
All right, so, Madam Interpreter, thank you for your patience this morning. We appreciate it. So we'll be with you as soon as we can.
My pleasure,
Um,
Your Honor.
And, let's see, if Ms. Strong, if you can place Mr. White, Ms. Falk, and myself into a breakout room, please. Ms. Strong, I'm sorry, did you hear my request? I just want to make sure that you're with me.
I am, Judge, but I didn't hear it. I'm sorry.
Okay, could you place Mr. White, Ms. Falk, and myself into a breakout room, please?
Oh, sure. My apologies.
No problem, thank you.
Miss iPhone with the red bonnet on. Can you please turn your screen off, your camera off? Ma'am, with the iPhone, with the one who says iPhone with the red bonnet on, please turn your camera off.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, courtroom 2, we back online?
Yes.
Okay. So where, would you all like to go next?
Position number 25, Mr. Knight.
My understanding, this is going to be a negotiated plea.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Knight. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Knight. Ms. Desiano?
Yes, Your Honor, the state's recommendation for count 1 is 12 months served 30 days, credit for time served 15 days from October 22nd, 2024 to today, balance probated, no further violent contact with Tiara Smith, family violence intervention program, 40 hours of community service, and no firearms while on probation. For count 2, 12 months probation concurrent with count 1, and count 3 will merge with count 1. We'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and ID for purposes of the plea. And if Your Honor can sound for Ms. Tiara Smith.
Ms. Smith is on the line and wishes to address the court. Now is your opportunity.
I don't. I'm good.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Smith. We appreciate you being here this morning.
You're
Mr.
welcome.
Mr. White?
Judge, we do stipulate for the purposes of the plea, we would ask that you waive 3 months of probation fees so that he can apply that to the family violence program, and ask that once he's completed all of his requirements to go non-reporting.
Okay. Mr. Knight, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 007204D, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery, family violence, simple battery against a person who is 65 years or older, who was pregnant at the time of the offense, and another count of simple battery, family violence. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation? You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Knight. To help you get on your feet and give you time to get a job, I will waive 2 months of the probation fees. And when you complete the terms of the probation, it'll go to a non-reporting status. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't be on reporting probation and have to pay the fees, okay? All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Knight.
All right,
Thank you.
Next, we could go to position number 13 and 14, Mr. Davenport.
And Judge, Mr. Davenport is going to be pro se. If you want to briefly go into a breakout, give you a little explanation.
That's fine, Your Honor.
Okay, so if Ms. Falk, Mr. White, and myself can go back into the breakout room. Ms. Strong, are you with me?
And we have Mr. Haddad too, so he kind of knows what's going on.
Sure. Is the other breakout room still open for you all to join back? If not, I'll put you in another.
I would like to
Let
speak
me
to
check.
Ms.
Yeah, it is still available on my
Yeah.
computer. I don't
You
know
guys
if it
gotta
is on.
Yeah, you should be able to click on the side, Judge, and go back
Okay.
in.
Where's
All
she?
you have to do is go back in.
It's toward, if you're looking at the bar, it's toward the bottom right next to AI Companion and Apps. There should be a box with 4 squares that says Join Breakout Room.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you.
I don't have that.
Oh,
Yes, you do. Yeah, oh, yeah, you do.
Okay, well, I can take a photograph of my screen and show you that I don't.
Nope, no problem. I'll just do another one.
Okay.
That's fine.
okay, that's fine.
And you just have to hover over. It's not gonna pop up to show you.
Am I adding courtroom 2 or Mr. Haddad's device?
Mr. Haddad.
Okay, if we can unmute you, courtroom 2, please. Mr. Davenport. Good morning, Mr. Davenport. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. I've heard a bit about your case from the attorneys that are involved. It's my understanding that you want to proceed pro se this morning. As such, you have a right to remain silent. Anything you say can be used against you. You do have a right to have an attorney present at these proceedings, but it's my understanding that you wish to represent yourself this morning. Is that right?
I would like to speak with Mr. White, please.
Okay. Let's see. Mr. White, do you want to speak with him in a breakout room, or you're on mute, Tom?
Sorry, Judge. Whatever's easiest, the breakout room's fine, or call. It shouldn't take very long in either case, so.
Okay. So is there anybody in courtroom 2 with you?
Mr. Haddad.
Just me, Judge.
Okay, well, if we shut down courtroom 2, then I can't go on to either the jail court, iPhone, or medical. So, let's see. Can you call? Can we call?
Sure. I can call 2060.
Yes.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay, thank you. All right, and who do we have in medical?
This is Mrs. Pritchett.
Your Honor, if that's the one needing the sign language, if possible, Judge, if you can do a breakout room in courtroom 2, it should not take too long with the interpreter.
Okay, all right, so let's see. Ms. Strong, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can we place medical, Madam Interpreter, and courtroom 2 in a breakout room, please?
Sure.
Thank you. And we'll be in recess until someone returns.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, good. No.
It ain't gonna do no good. It's the same thing.
And Judge, we are ready with Mr. Davenport whenever you are.
Okay, they're in a breakout room in courtroom 2 right now, so we'll have to wait till I guess they
No
come
worries.
back. Wait. And what are we gonna do with Mr. Davenport, Mr. White?
Judge, I explained to him the situation. He's going to move forward with the public defender's office and told him that he'd be getting a signature bond and have to report, and he's good with that. So we'll just.
Okay, so I just need to tell him then. Okay, thank you.
Correct. No worries.
All right, we'll be in recess until courtroom 2 returns. Mr. White, are you with me?
Yes, Judge.
Um, who's representing, the people on the DV bench warrant calendar today?
That'll be me, Judge.
Okay, I see, Mr. Octavius, on the line. Have you had the opportunity to speak with him?
I have not.
Okay, if this is this Mr. Octavius Morton on the line here?
Yes,
Okay, can you activate your camera for me, Mr. Morton?
yes, mommy.
You able to, okay. Um, let's see, are you, I'm gonna let you, put you into a breakout room with, thank you. With, Mr. White, so you can discuss, your case with him. Ms. Strong, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if we can place Mr. White and Octavius's, iPhone into a breakout room, we can use those this time.
And Judge, do we have a Spanish interpreter for the other position on the DV bench warrant calendar? If not, we need one.
Okay. Have we requested a Spanish interpreter today?
I'm not sure, but I'll inquire and get back with you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, thank you, Ms. Desiano. Okay. Okay, Ms. Desiano, are you with us? And Mr. Morton, if you can activate your camera for me, please. All right, so good morning. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the DV bench warrant calendar, 11 o'clock calendar. I appreciate you being on here a little bit earlier this morning. Ms. Desiano, I take it that a court date was missed?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Morton missed plea and arraignment on October 28th, 2024. The address that's on file when he was booked in the jail is the same address that the defendant used to sign the DV bench inquiry calendar notification. It's 5120 High Point Road in Union City. Doesn't appear his address has changed, Your Honor.
Judge, my understanding is that that is an address that he has changed to. I just spoke with him. He said he didn't receive notice, and that is the address that he changed it after he was emailed about the bench warrant.
Okay, so the address that we currently have on file is the proper address.
Yes, that's the address he gave me.
Okay, and how long have you been at that address, Mr. Morton?
We just moved here in May.
Okay, so you know that it's your responsibility whenever you move to make sure that you let the court, the first thing you should do is let the court know that you've moved. That's your responsibility, and to stay in touch with the court. It is my practice that I give everybody one chance. So this is your one chance. If you miss court again, I'm not going to set aside the bench warrant. Okay, so I'll set it aside this time, but make sure that that you keep in touch with the court so that you don't miss any other court dates. Okay.
Okay.
All right. You're free to go this morning, Mr. Morton. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you.
Your Honor. Mr. Morton, it's going to take a couple of days before it to hit the system, so keep your head down.
Okay. They told me to keep the paper on the piece of paper on me that I have.
Okay.
No,
Be sure.
that's not valid. That's just to show to come to court.
So, Mr. White, if you get that set aside to me today, I'll get it signed. We'll get you a copy. You can get a copy to Mr. Morton, and that should
I will,
help.
Judge.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day, sir. Let's see. Are we ready, Mr. Haddad?
Judge, for medical judge, we are ready. I'm gonna do a non-negotiated plea just under the circumstances, and I can explain that at the appropriate time. The bad news is, I don't see the interpreter.
Is she still in the breakout room, Ms. Strong?
Yeah, she is. I'll keep
Yeah, she's still in the breakout room. We'll pull her out.
And Your Honor, just so the court is aware, the other challenge is that the monitor that medical is using, it's hard for my client to see the interpreter. In other words, it's almost like the interpreter has to be the focus, and I can't tell right now if she's able to see.
We could pin her. We could pin her like that. Can you see her like that?
I've already pinned it, so when whoever speaks is all whoever's in this group is in a big square.
Okay, so
you can see now it's bad for.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Could you set her screen so that the interpreter is big? I will tell her who's talking.
The screen is as big as it's gonna get. Because she got to see the judge, what the judge is saying, and she got to also see what the public defender is saying.
Ma'am, she needs to see the interpreter so that I can tell her what the judge is saying.
She said she can see you.
She's saying it's better now. It's better. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Tell me what position this is, please.
Position number 30.
Number 30. Okay. Good morning, Ms. Pritchett. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video this morning. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, ma'am?
Your Honor, good morning. This is Donna Flanders. I'm the interpreter for the court today, as you know. Would you mind swearing me in as well?
Yes, thank you, Madam Interpreter. Let me swear you in first. Do you swear affirm that you'll interpret to the best of your ability this morning?
Absolutely, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, very good. Ms. Pritchett, do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. You can place your hand down. Yes, Ms. Desiano.
Judge, do you want to start with pretrial since we're doing non-negotiated? Or
We, just so the court knows, I am stipulating to the factual basis, just needed an explanation of what transpired, but I'll leave it up to the court how the court wishes to proceed.
Okay, so
Your Honor, she can no longer see me to participate in her case.
She can see you now, yeah.
do we have anyone from pretrial on? Do you have the history, Ms. Desiano?
I do, Your Honor.
Okay.
I'll start with the facts. This incident took place at the Texaco station at 2641 Main Street in East Point. The officers arrived to the location in reference to a person who was refusing to leave. They observed the defendant sitting on the sidewalk with an open alcoholic beverage. When the officer attempted to discard the beverage, the defendant punched the officer, kicked the officer in the leg, and spit on the officer. This defendant, Your Honor, has 15 arrest cycles. A 2018 conviction for disorderly conduct.
Your Honor, I'm unable to see the interpreter to participate in my case.
Okay, medical. You're gonna have to make sure that the screens stay and let us know when they're down.
Yes, Your Honor. She puts it up on the screen and then it comes back down again. It keeps changing.
Judge, I think
spotlight.
They have it on the setting where the speaker is highlighted.
Right.
Is there a way to just pin the interpreter instead?
Or using the spotlight function, Your Honor, also works. I could spotlight myself if you would prefer. And she says, I now see the interpreter.
Okay, so can we spotlight the interpreter?
I just did already.
I can spotlight myself, I think. I can't spotlight myself. Somebody else will have to control that. Yeah. Sorry, Your Honor, I'm trying.
No, I understand. It's
She can't see me right now.
Hey, Judge,
I can see you. Yes, I can see
Okay,
you. Says the interpreter is not there.
There she is.
Do we-
right there.
So either Ms. Lewis or Ms. Strong, are we able to spotlight the interpreter?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Judge, I can't hear you.
You can't hear me, Ms. Strong?
I couldn't hear you because of the noise in medical's background. I didn't hear what you said.
Are we able to spotlight Madam Interpreter so that medical just sees her?
Let me see.
Judge, is it possible to just have the spreadsheet come to board too? I mean, that seems might be the easiest, but There we go. That looks better, I think.
Yes, it will. That's going to do it.
Is that better? Okay. Okay, so are we ready to proceed?
And she says yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor, for your patience.
No problem. Thank you. Ms. Desiano, you can continue.
Madam Interpreter, can you ask her the last part she was able to understand?
Okay, so the last thing you said was that I was arguing with a police officer. They took away the beer that I was drinking and I argued with them. They kept telling me that I needed to leave, at which point the officer grabbed me on the arm and hurt me, and we tussled a little bit. I wound up pushing the officer backward so that I could communicate.
Okay, so I don't need for her to testify. Okay, so
Okay, Your Honor, I'll pick up.
start from there, Ms. Desiano.
Excuse me so much, Your Honor. Excuse me.
So when the officer attempted to discard the beverage, the defendant punched the officer, kicked the officer, and spit on the officer. The defendant has 15 arrest cycles, Your Honor. A 2018 conviction for disorderly conduct. A 2018 conviction for simple battery. A 2016 conviction for battery, family violence, and disorderly conduct. And a 2014 conviction for aggravated assault. Based on the facts and the history, Your Honor, the state is recommending 12 months to serve 68 days. Credit for time served, 34 days. To serve the balance on probation, "12 weeks of anger management, "40 hours of community service, stay away from the Texaco at 2641 Main Street in East Point. And no firearms while on probation.
Yes, Mr. Dodd.
Judge, my client is okay with all the conditions. My only request is to waive the anger management classes just for obvious reasons, Judge. I think trying to get, I mean, I'm not aware of any anger management classes where there's going to be a sign language interpreter available. As far as the facts, Judge, my client does not deny spitting on the officer. And I believe what probably transpired, Judge, is that the police came out, they got a report, but she cannot, I mean, she's obviously deaf, Judge, and I think that led to some of the confusion from the officer when she was not responding. Her arm was grabbed, and at that point, she reacted and started fighting with the officer. I think it's unfortunate. It was just a set of circumstances based on her physical limitations, Judge, that it just got out of hand. She does admit to spitting the officer. Obviously, she regrets as to her part of the actions. She's okay with the community service, Judge. She does have family here. I'm gonna call them to make arrangements to get her out. I mean, to pick her up because it's a time served sentence. I would just ask the court to consider waiving the anger management classes under the circumstances, Judge.
And Your Honor, the state's objection to that is simply put, her criminal history has shown a history of violence. And they offer anger management courses online. There are several different programs the defendant can participate. And thousands are accredited by courts. So I find it very hard to believe that the defendant couldn't find an anger management course that would accommodate her hearing disability.
Okay. Who's on from probation today?
Intake is on there. They'll be able to answer the question.
Do I have someone that can speak for probation?
Your Honor, I mean, if the court allows my client to do something online, Judge, I think that may work as long as I mean, I believe Ms. Desiano. I mean, if she says that there are programs out there that would satisfy probation, then that's fine, Judge. I mean, I just want to make sure with the wording of the court's order, depending on what the court decides to do, that will not set up a probation violation if she ends up taking an online class that probation somehow does not find acceptable.
Okay, and that's why I wanted to speak to probation, because first of all, I need to know if when she's on probation, do they have a way of communicating with her while she's on probation? And do they have online classes for anger management that we could direct Ms. Pritchett to? Ms. Strong, you with me again?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Can we see if we can get someone from probation on the line for me?
I was under the impression she was on just because she just put a message in the chat.
Oh,
JC and Tate.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why they're addressing, I don't know why they're not addressing us.
And Your Honor, she's been on probation before. She has an arrest in 2019 for a probation violation. And then, of course, her previous convictions. So probation has communicated with her.
okay. I just want to verify that. I want to see, how we can make sure that we can facilitate this.
Okay, well, JCS, if you're here, please activate your camera and talk to the judge. The judge is addressing you.
I don't.
I'm sorry, Judge. Someone else is in court with me and I couldn't hardly hear you all, so I do apologize.
Okay, no, that's fine. Did you hear my questions?
I did not, I'm sorry.
Okay, so we have Ms. Pritchard who is in need of a sign language interpreter. And number one, I want to make sure that you're going to be able to communicate, your office is going to be able to communicate with her when she's on probation.
She would either have to bring someone with her that will interpret it. I don't know for a fact, unless I get Miss Allen on, if they have someone that they can bring in. But they usually tell us if they have the Spanish interpreter, bring someone in that can speak Spanish and English.
Okay, and
so do you want me to get Miss Allen?
Okay, so let me see if you can answer my second question.
Okay.
As far as anger management goes, are you all able to do to facilitate anger management through an online course?
Yes, they do have online courses.
Okay, all right, so that answers that. So I'm gonna need to know how she's going to communicate with, because I want to make sure that she understands what the process is going to be once she's released as far as dealing with probation. given her circumstances.
Okay, I'm getting ready to call Miss Allen,
Okay,
so I can have some answer for a good answer for you, rather.
okay, thank you, I appreciate it. So, going back to you, Mr. Haddad, given that the 12 weeks of anger management can be done online, are you still objecting to Ms. Pritchard participating in an online anger management course?
No, Judge, I mean, the only concern really is the ability to have an interpreter, that's all, but if it's online, I think there should be some available. So that's not really a point of contention, Judge.
Okay, so does this turn into a negotiated plea at this point?
Yes, Judge, my other request is to consider waiving part of the probation fees or placing her case on non-reporting upon completion of the conditions, Judge.
Okay. Anything further from either party before I take the plea?
Your Honor, we just asked the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and ID for purposes of the plea.
We stipulate.
Okay. So, Ms. Pritchard, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 006835E, you wish to plead guilty to simple battery against a police officer. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, Your Honor.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Your Honor.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to the charge, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Please repeat that.
Okay. You have a right to a trial by jury. But because you're pleading guilty,
No, I don't want a trial.
okay, but because you're pleading guilty, you're giving up that right. Do you understand that?
No trial.
Okay, and you don't want a trial.
I need to go out. I need to get out of the jail and go home. I need to be at home.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
I'm guilty, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Ms. Pritchard. I'll waive 2 months of the probation fees to help you get and stay on your feet. And when you complete the terms of the probation, it'll go to a non-reporting status. Okay,
Would you mind saying that again, Your Honor? Please say it again.
I'll waive 2 months of your probation fees. And when you complete the terms of the probation, it will go to non-reporting so that you don't have to report and pay the probation fees.
I have to pay probation?
Yes, there's a monthly fee for probation.
Do you know how much that is, Your Honor?
$49 per month. but I'm waiving 2 months of those fees to help you out.
Thank you for that, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay?
Also,
do-
the stipulation, Your Honor, is there a way to repeat those?
Yes, 12, you have to complete 12 weeks of anger management. And you can do that online. And you have to complete 40 hours of community service. And you're not to have any firearms while you're on probation.
And Your Honor, stay away from the Texaco.
Okay?
Yes, I accept those stipulations. I'm just trying to make sure that I caught them all. The probation, say that again. Sorry, Your Honor, she's very small to me. So the 40 hours of community service, that's volunteer service. And probation, and those are all the same things. They're all the same.
Okay, I don't understand what you mean. Probation,
Sorry, my misunderstanding. She's saying those are all the same time, correct? Those are all at the same time. I'm doing all of them as part of probation together, all one package.
yes.
'I'm going to be very busy doing all of those things, Your Honor. Seeing my probation officer, also attending classes, also how am I supposed to put in all those hours of community service? See what I'm saying?
Well, that's the sentence, Miss Pritchard. So you're gonna have to figure out a way to get it done. You're gonna have 12 months on probation to complete all those requirements.
$12 months. I thought I could have probation for 2 months. Now you're saying 12 months?
If you get it complete within those first 2 months, you don't have to report to probation for the remainder of those 12 months. So it's up to you, Ms. Pritchard, as to how quickly you get this done.
I understand now, Your Honor. Now I understand very clearly. Thank you for explaining.
Okay. And let's see, we do have someone on from probation to explain
Yes,
how.
so Miss Allen is in court, so I asked the other manager on the other side, Your Honor, this is Miss Thomas. She stated that she would have to bring a family member because they don't have anyone to accommodate her or the defendant.
So here, Your Honor, she's saying that my family members need to interpret for me. I don't have any family members that can sign. They never learned to sign for me, sir.
So that was my concern, Mr. Haddad. I don't want to set her up for failure.
Your Honor, can we inquire how she previously reported to probation? Because she's been on probation several times.
So, Your Honor, in the past, I was asked to write in English on paper back and forth with my probation officer, and that was when I was on probation in the city of Decatur.
Okay, so hopefully we can accomplish it the same way this time.
I'm pretty sure they can accommodate that, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. All right, is there anything further with Ms. Pritchett?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
No, Judge, thank you.
Okay. Good luck to you, Ms. Pritchett.
Okay, and I will be released today, Your Honor. Is that true?
You'll be released as soon as you're processed out of the jail. It could take up to 24 hours or so.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All
Thank
right,
you.
You're welcome.
Have
And
a
thank you,
great-
Madam Interpreter. We appreciate your help this morning.
You're very welcome, Your Honor. That being said, may I be excused?
Yes, have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
And you, thank you.
Okay, who do we have next?
This is Joe Court iPhones. We have, I'm not sure the position, but this is Mr. Burks, Mr. Nathan Burks. I was told to, that he had to talk to Mr. White.
Yes.
Okay, what's the last name again for me?
Burks.
Position 9 and 10.
Okay, thank you. Mr. White, are you with me?
Are you?
No, White is.
Tom, are you there?
I am, Judge. Sorry, the issue with the computer.
Okay, do you need to talk to Mr. Burks?
Um,
Positions 9 and 10?
if that was my announcement, yes, I believe that's the one I announced I was unable to see yesterday because he'd been moved.
Okay. How to best accomplish that, Joe Court's iPhone? I can place you to a breakout room or you can call. What would you like for us to do?
I can call, I can log off and then call
Okay, you have the number?
him. Yes.
Okay.
Is it 404-536?
Yep, that's it.
Okay, all right, sorry.
All right.
All right. So, while you do that, Mr. White, is there anybody else that we can take, for courtroom 2, Mr. Dodd?
Your
Anybody
Honor,
else?
I'm not sure what happened with Davenport.
Okay, I just have to make an announcement for Mr. Davenport. Can we get him back up before you go, Mr. White? So, Mr. Davenport, it's my understanding that you, after a conversation with Mr. White, that you are going to let the public defender represent you as you go forward in this matter. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what I've decided to do in conversation with the attorneys is that I'm going to allow you a $500 signature bond through pretrial on each of these charges. Makes for a total of a $2,500 signature bond through pretrial level 1. No driving without a valid license, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Mr. Davenport, I have to encourage you that if you miss another court date, your case is going to be returned to Judge Edie's courtroom. And if you miss another court date with him, they're going to put another warrant out for you. As far as the failure to appear, I'm going to sign a set aside for that. So whatever concerns that you have with these charges going forward, I have also instructed Mr. White to let the public defender, Ms. St. Flex, know that she will be representing you and for them to get you her contact information, and you can discuss any issues that you have going forward with her, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Judge, I've also told him how to contact our office, so.
Okay, all right, so I'm gonna do that this one time, Mr. Davenport. Make sure that if you move or other that you stay in touch with the court so that or stay in touch with Ms. St. Flex so that you don't miss another court date, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, Mr. Davenport.
Thank you, sir.
Come on.
You're
Thank you,
welcome. Okay, I guess we'll be in recess until someone's ready to move forward.
Mike, how did you vote on that tax court thing? Yeah, I looked in the chat. Oh, they was. You know, honestly, I don't remember. I Googled some research on it and found out who voted for it and against it. I ended up voting for it. Is it a constitutional amendment? Yeah, it takes it from the executive branch.
I haven't received a call yet from jail court iPhone. I'm ready whenever.
Yeah, I'm trying to call you, but it's saying, that it's not connected for whatever reason.
You got a number for me to try you?
No, I can bring him down to the courtroom, probably try the courtroom.
That's probably the easiest way to do it.
All right, I'll bring him down want me to bring him down now or get through with these, the two guys or the three guys that I have?
Whatever's easiest, man. We can go ahead and handle those three and then take him down. That's probably easier, but you tell me.
Yeah, that'll work. I'll get rid of these three and then I'll bring him down.
All right, sounds good.
All right. All right, we'll make it a little start.
Down to the courtroom, which is.
So jail court's iPhone, what are we doing?
We have position number 21, Mr. Johnson.
I have that a waiver is going to be filed on Mr. Johnson's case. Is that right, Mr. White?
That's correct. It was not needed.
Okay, so Mr. Johnson, your case is going to be returned to the division judge. You'll get notification of your next hearing date, sir. Good luck to you.
That's both Johnsons.
Is there another Johnson besides Robert, Mr.
There's a
White?
Gerald Johnson. It's the exact same announcement.
I thought we got Gerald Jones.
I have Gerald Jones. Is it Jones or Johnson?
They're the same person? They're not the same person.
Oh, hold on. 22, 20.
But it is a waiver on Gerald Jones as well, as my understanding.
That's correct, Judge. He's
Okay.
Jones on one. Yeah, it is Jones. Long story short.
Okay. Anyone else that we can take right now?
I apologize. I stepped away. Is the court wanting some announcements on the non-pleas we can put on the record, or we can wait until the end? I apologize. I stepped out, so I'm not sure.
No, you're fine, Mr. Dodd. I was just wondering if we could take anyone. It doesn't seem so. So if you have some announcements that you want to put on the record, now's a good time to do that, I guess.
Your Honor, position number 24, Mr. Jordan, I did speak to him. We're going to waive arraignment and our plea of not guilty.
Okay, thank you.
I do
24.
see for medical, so.
Which position was that, Your Honor?
24.
Oh, thank you.
I have position number 40, Mr. Watkins.
And this is going to be a plea, is that right?
That is correct, Judge. That's my case.
Okay, good morning, Mr. Watkins. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar. If you can raise your right hand for me, please, sir. Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Yes, Ms. Yesiana.
Your Honor, the state's recommendation for position 40 is 12 months served 32 days, credit for time served 16 days. That's October 21st, 2024 to today. Balance suspended. Stay away from 345 Lanier Street. No further contact with Randall Evans and Curtis Elders. There's also an add-on, Your Honor, 24 CR 0071884H. The defendant's charged with disorderly conduct, public drunk, and obstruction. For count 1, the disorderly conduct, the state's recommendation is 12 months served 46 days, credit for time served 23 days. From May 28th to June 19th, 2024, balance probated. Stay away from the Opium nightclub at 150 Central Avenue. Count 2, public drunk, 12 months probation concurrent with count 1 and an ADET. And the obstruction, count 3, 12 months concurrent with count 1 and a $300 fine or 30 hours of community service. We'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and ID for purposes of the plea. And if Your Honor can sound for Mr. Randall Evans and Mr. Curtis Elders.
If Mr. Evans or Mr. Elders is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity to do so. Doesn't appear so. Mr. Dodd?
Your Honor, we stipulate for purpose of the plea, and we would, my client prefers the community service and do the fine on count 3. And I apologize, I missed the add-on case number. Is it, I believe it should be 24 CR 003589H.
I have 7.
That's the
Yeah,
wrong
I realize I copy and pasted it. Yeah, your case number is probably correct.
It is. It's wrong on the counter, Judge.
Okay,
I'll
so
give it a
tell me the correct one.
Sure, it's 24 CR 003589H.
9H. Okay, thank you. Anything further before I take the plea?
No, Judge. And I'm sorry, I would ask the court to consider placing the case on non-reporting once it completes all the conditions, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Watkins, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 007184H, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass, and in case 24 CR 00359H, you wish to plead guilty to disorderly conduct, public drunk, and obstruction. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Haddad.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Watkins. When you complete the terms of the probation, I'll have it go to a non-reporting status. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't be on reporting probation and have to pay those fees, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Morrow.
Position number 39, Mr. Tomlin.
Also a negotiated plea.
Yes, Judge, I apologize. I misplaced the paperwork, but yes, we're ready for on that, Judge.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. Tumblin.
Morning.
I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
You can place your hand down. Thank you, Mr. Tumblin. Yes, Ms. Desiano.
Your Honor, for count one, state's recommendation is 12 months served 34 days, credit for time served 17 days from October 20th, 2024 to today, balance probated, stay away from 1093 West Avenue and 20 hours of community service. Count two, 12 months probation concurrent with count one. We'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue factual basis NID for purposes of the plea, nothing further.
Mr. Dodd?
Your Honor, we stipulate for purpose of the plea, Judge. I would ask the court to consider placing the case on non-reporting once it completes the conditions. My client has some residential issues, housing issues. We talked about him going to a shelter for the time being, Judge. He does have family, but his mom, where she lives, is in a high rise and it's restricted, so he can't stay with her. One of the reasons why he went back to that location, Judge, is he used to live there. He was not supposed to go back. He was trying to file shelter, but we discussed that at length about this particular case where he cannot go back to that property, ever again. So I'll just ask court to consider placing the case on non-report once it completes community service, and of course with the condition of staying away.
Okay, and is this an apartment complex or something of that nature?
I believe it's a residence, I believe it's a single home, but it was vacant.
The Krogman.
And Ms. Desiano may know better. I may be getting my facts confused with another case.
Yes, Your Honor. It's my understanding that it's a Krogman school loft.
Okay, so it's loft space. Okay,
Yeah.
well, I just want to make sure that he knows that he can't go back to that 1093 West Avenue. And okay, anything further before I take the plea?
No, Judge.
Mr. Tumblin, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 007157A, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass and giving false information to law enforcement. Is that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No, I'm not, Your Honor.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor, I haven't.
Okay. I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Tumblin. Let's see, when you complete the 20 hours of community service, I'll have the probation go to a non-reporting status. So the sooner you get that done, the sooner you won't be on reporting probation and have to pay those fees, okay?
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, you're welcome. Good luck to you, Mr. Tumblin.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Anyone else that we can take? Okay, we'll be in recess until we have someone else. Who do we have on the jail court's iPhone?
How you doing, Your Honor? We have position number 5, Mr. Gray.
Okay. And this is going to be a negotiated plea, is that right?
That's correct, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Bray. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down, Mr. Bray. Thank you. Yes, Ms. Falk.
Yes, Your Honor. The recommendation on this is 12 months served, 30 days, credit for time served, 15 days. From 10/22 to today, balance suspended, stay away from the Family Dollar located at 2630 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, Southwest. The state would ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of the plea. That's all for the state.
Judge, we stipulate, just ask that you accept the plea as negotiated.
Mr. Bray, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 007173C, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Bray. You know you can't go back to that Family Dollar. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Bray.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
Next, we have position number 15, Mr. Irby.
Okay, this is also a negotiated plea.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Irby. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you. Ms. Falk?
State's recommendation for Mr. Irby on count 1 is 12 months served, 38 days, credit for time served, 19 days. That is from October 18th, 2024 until today. Balance probated, 8 weeks of anger management, 40 hours of community service, and no further contact with Iris Arnold. Count 2 will be 12 months concurrent with count 1. We would like to sound for Miss Iris Arnold, and we do ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of the plea. That's all for the state.
If Ms. Arnold is on the line and wishes to address the court, now is your opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Mr. White?
Judge, we do stipulate for purposes of the plea, we just ask that you waive probation fees for as long as you can so that he can apply those to the anger management classes and allow him to go non-reporting upon completion of his terms.
Your Honor, due to the nature of these charges, we do object to the non-reporting status, but we obviously don't object to waiving any fees that the court sees fit to.
Okay, Mr. Irby, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 007285E, you wish to plead guilty to harassing communications and terroristic threats and acts. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Excuse me.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury, but because you're pleading guilty, you're giving up that right. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated. Mr. Irby, I will waive 3 months of the probation fees to help you get and stay on your feet. It should give you enough time to get a job. I'm gonna require that you be on probation for the entire time, though. Good luck to you, sir.
How long is probation again? So I can know.
12 months.
12 months.
What we talked about yesterday, yeah. Just a
All
little
right.
shy of that, but
Okay?
All
Good
right.
luck to you, Mr. Irby.
Okay.
Next, we have position number 38, Mr. Treywick.
Negotiated plea also, is that correct?
That is correct, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Treywick. I am Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that were conducted by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir?
Yes,
Do you
sir.
swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can place your hand down. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Mr. Esiago.
Your Honor, the state's recommendation for count one is 12 months served, 34 days, credit for time served, 17 days from October 20th, 2024 to today. Balance probated, no further contact with Jerron Benjamin, Tequita May, and Delilah Clark. Stay away from Emory St. Joseph's at 5665 Peachtree Dunwoody Road unless receiving medical treatment, an MHET, and no firearms. Count 2, 12 months probation concurrent with count 1. Count 3, 12 months probation concurrent with count 1 and a $300 fine or 30 hours of community service. And count 4, 12 months probation concurrent with count 1. We'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and ID for purposes of the plea. And if Your Honor can sound for the victims, Jerron Benjamin, Tequita May, and Delilah Clark.
If any of those individuals, if they're on the line and wish to address the court, now is the opportunity. Doesn't appear so. Yes, Mr. Dodd.
Thank you, Judge. We stipulate for purpose of the plea, Judge, we're requesting 30 hours community service and not the fine. And finally, I would ask the court to consider non-report once and if he completes all the conditions of probation, Judge.
Okay. Mr. Treywick, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 007153J, you wish to plead guilty to 3 counts of simple battery and willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
Yes, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir.
I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Treywick. When you complete the terms, it'll go to a non-reporting status. So the sooner you get it done, the sooner you won't be on reporting probation and have to pay those fees, okay?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. All right, now I gotta go up to 6 South to grab David South. We still need David South? Position
We do.
34?
Yes, we need David South, and have we, what are we gonna do with Nathan Burks?
I'm gonna bring him down once I finish with David South. I'm gonna bring him down to the courtroom.
Okay, very good. Thank you. All right. Let's see, is Mr. Jimenez Garcia on the line? Ms. Chancey, good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
We appreciate you being here today. Mr.
You're welcome.
Jimenez Garcia was supposed to join us at 11 o'clock. I don't
Would you like me to
see,
call? Señor García, Jiménez García, ¿está presente en la plataforma? Prenda su cámara y micrófono, por favor, si está.
okay, I don't see that he's responded. I'll give him a little more time to join the call. Mr. White, do you have you had any communication with him at all?
I haven't, Judge.
Do you have
tried to
his
call yet.
Do you have his number?
I have the number. I believe there's a number. I'll look into it. If I do, I'll reach out again.
Okay, thank you. So if you could,
You can put it on the chat, Mr. White, and I can let him know if you would like me to do that.
Okay. Is he on?
No, he's not. That's why
Yes.
Okay,
I'm trying to raise him so that we can deal with his bench warrant, but he doesn't seem to be. Someone just came on with an iPhone, so I'm not sure.
Señor Jiménez García está presente en la plataforma.
Sí.
Yes, they're here.
Okay. Would you ask him if he requires the assistance of an interpreter, please?
Señor, ¿necesita un intérprete?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Okay.
just go to a breakout room.
Yes. Ms. Strong, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, can you place Madam Interpreter, Mr. White, and the iPhone with Mr. Garcia in a breakout room for me, please?
Okay, give me one moment. I'm gonna change Mr. Garcia's name so I know which one is his.
Okay.
You welcome, no problem.
Miss Lewis, did you do something with the breakout room? Because I'm not able to put them in the breakout room now.
You gotta open it up. It's open.
Thank you.
Huh?
Okay, court will be in recess until someone returns.
Señor Jiménez García, nos van a trasladar a una habitación virtual. Cuando vea un botón azul que dice Join o Join, tiene que usted hacer clic.
Okay.
Mr. Garcia, can you see the button on your phone to join the breakout room? You have to go to another screen. Casey, he doesn't automatically go in there. You may have to pull him off. No, he didn't go in. There you go. Can you go into the breakout room? Do you know how? They're gonna try to do it again.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We're just trying to
Okay.
get you in the breakout room. Try it again, Casey.
It kicked me out too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
me too.
Mr. Garcia was not in there. He had trouble getting in there. So Miss Strong is going to resign y'all another number room to put in, and hopefully everybody will pop in. He's still not popping in. Mr. Garcia, there is a button.
Before she goes in, we
Screen
need
is
to.
frozen, Katrina. It's not that he's not trying to move.
Oh, okay. He's in now. Thank you, Ms. Strong.
Okay, who do we have on the jail court's iPhone?
We have position number 34, Mr. South.
And this is going to be a negotiated plea, is that right?
It is, Judge. The recommendation from change upon my request, Judge, the state's recommending to serve 20 days with credit for 2 days, balance suspended. What that means, Mr. South, you have 8 more days than you do with that misdemeanor charge, okay?
Okay.
All
And
right.
we're ready
Good morning, Mr. South. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
That's what.
You can place your hand down. Thank you, sir. Ms. Desiano?
Yes, Your Honor, PD is that's correct. The new recommendation is 12 months served, 20 days, credit for time served 2 days from May 25th to May 26th, 2024, balance suspended. And for count 2, it'll be time served 4 days, credit for time served 2 days. We'd ask the defense to stipulate to venue factual basis and ID for purposes of the plea.
We stipulate, Judge.
Okay, Mr. South. It's my understanding that in case 24 CR 003287Y, you wish to plead guilty to willful obstruction of law enforcement officers and giving false information to law enforcement. Is that correct?
Yes.
The influence of any drugs or alcohol at the present time?
No.
Represented by counsel, are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
You understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on these charges, and that by pleading guilty to them, you're giving up your right to a trial by jury?
Yes.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No.
Okay, I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. South. Good luck to you, sir.
Repeat that plea again for me. I said it changed. I didn't catch it. I'm sorry. Can you repeat that plea again? Y'all said something about some credit for time served different than was on the paper. Please.
Count 1, 12 months served, 20 days, credit for time served 2 days, balance suspended. And count 2 will be time served 4 days, credit for time served 2 days.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. South. Let's see, are we back with Mr. Jimenez?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. And would you have him activate his phone, Ms. Chancey, for me, please? Or come
Señor,
on
por
screen.
favor, puede prender su micrófono. Señor Jiménez García. Okay.
Is he out of the breakout room?
Yes, he left before we did.
I think he came all the way out.
Señor Jiménez García, ¿está presente? ¿Nos escucha?
Okay, so while we wait for him to get back on, Ms. Chancey, let me just go ahead and swear you in. If you raise your right hand for me, do you swear or affirm that you will interpret from Spanish to English and English to Spanish to the best of your ability?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
All right, thank you. I appreciate it. And as soon as he gets back on with us, we can proceed.
Yes, sir.
Does it make sense, Judge, to go ahead and discuss before he gets back on?
I'm reticent to discuss anything that involves him without him being here.
Fair enough.
Do you have his phone number, Mr. White? Maybe you can give him a call.
I don't. I hope he didn't misunderstand it and think he was done.
It seems to be a common theme with this individual, Your Honor.
Would this case be a probation case if he accepted?
This is the DV bench warrant calendar.
Okay, okay. All right, thank you.
However, we did extend a plea offer. I'm sure Mr. White has conveyed that.
Do we have his number in the file?
It's on, yeah. Let me put it in the chat.
Okay, Ms. Chancey, I'm gonna put the number in the chat that we have in the file for him, if you wouldn't mind calling him and asking, see if you can get through to him to get back on with us, please.
Of course, Your Honor.
Oh, Lord, I'm trying to read it. 8, 4, 9.
¿Hola?
Señor Jiménez García,
Sí.
le habla Adriana Chancy, la intérprete, y el señor el juez Eric Morrow quiere que usted vuelva a la plataforma porque lo estamos esperando.
Estoy intentando, pero no entra.
I am
No quiere entrar,
trying.
me pide un ID.
I am trying, and it's asking me for an ID number.
Okay, that ID number is, it's the one here. Hold on. Thanks here. Tell him, it's the ID number you have, Miss.
¿Hay algún número?
Un momento, por favor, un momento. Yes, ma'am, please, can you repeat it?
It's, oh, I thought you had it up because it's the same Zoom number. That's what you
Okay,
want.
I can give it to him with your permission.
Yes, go ahead.
One moment, please.
El mensaje como que me lo mandas a mí.
Un momento, señor.
Ujú.
¿Tiene dónde escribir?
Sí.
Ok. Un momento.
Ujú.
I will give the ID number and turn off my microphone, sir. Is that okay?
It's fine.
Ok, listo, ya lo hago.
You should be trying right now, Your Honor.
Okay.
He's on the platform, sir.
Hey, Tom, they brought, Burke into the courtroom, so just so you know.
Okay.
All right, so let me finish up with Mr. Garcia first, and then we'll go to Mr. Burke's case. Good morning, Mr. Garcia. I'm Judge Eric Mora. This is the DV bench warrant calendar.
Buenos días, señor García. Soy el juez Eric Morrow y este es el calendario DV ante el juez.
Ms. Desiano, it's my understanding that Mr. Garcia missed a court date.
Señora Desiano, entiendo que el señor García no se presentó ante una audiencia del tribunal.
Yes, Your Honor, he's missed several court dates.
Sí, su señoría, él no asistió a varios días en el tribunal.
The bench warrant is for a failure to appear before Your Honor in Orca on September 5th, 2024.
Y la orden de arresto es por incumplimiento en comparecer ante usted en una sesión de Orca el 5 de septiembre del 2024.
There is no returned mail in the docket. However, there is an address change that was filed on October 29th.
No hay una dirección en la lista de causas. Sin embargo, hay un cambio de dirección que se presentó el 29 de octubre.
He failed to appear at plea and arraignment on October 4th, 2021 and February 9th, 2022.
Él no cumplió con una comparecencia en una vista incoatoria del 4 de agosto del 2021 y el 9 de febrero del 2022.
However, he showed up at some point because his case was arraigned and reset to a jury trial calendar.
Sin embargo, él en un momento después se presentó porque su caso tuvo una vista incoatoria y una nueva cita a una lista de causas para ir a juicio.
And once the case was on a jury trial calendar, it was reset several times for interpreter issues.
Y una vez que el caso estuvo en una lista para ir a juicio, se le dio varias citas debido a una situación con intérprete.
However, in all of the resets, the defendant also failed to appear.
Sin embargo, en todas estas nuevas citas otorgadas, el acusado incumplió con sus comparecencias.
But it appears that the court may have not issued bench warrants for all of those FTAs because of the interpreter issue.
Pero pareciera que el juez debe haberle no emitido una orden de arresto por su falta de comparecencia debido a este problema con un intérprete.
And Your Honor, just for the record, the case was reset approximately 3 times on a jury trial calendar before it was scheduled for the status conference in Orca that he failed to appear on in September when the bench warrant actually issued.
Y a su señoría, para el acta, quisiera decir que el caso se le dio nuevas 3 citas para una lista de juicio, pero se le dio un estatus de conferencia en la sesión Orca, en donde también hubo una falta de comparecencia.
Hello, ¿puedo hablar?
May I speak? Un momento, por favor.
And so, Your Honor, the state's
Un momento,
position,
por favor, señor.
Okay.
Go ahead, madam. Please.
Your Honor, the state's position at this point is that the defendant has had several opportunities to show up to court and has failed to do so several times. And so we would ask for the bench warrant to issue or remain.
Su señoría, la fiscalía ha dado varias oportunidades al señor, al acusado, y ha tenido varias oportunidades para comparecer y ha incumplido en todas esas veces, por lo que yo pido que se emita la orden de arresto.
Ms. Tessiano, the jury trial calendars that he missed, were those, my calendars?
Señora Tessiano, la lista de casos para juicio que él perdió, estaban, o sea, me pertenecían, eran todas mías esas listas de causas.
Your Honor, let me check.
Déjenme ver, su señoría.
Judge Meyer Dixon.
I'm being told that they were Judge Dixon's calendars.
It was all Judge Dixon, Your Honor. You did the status conference in September, and you also did the plea and arraignment back in 2021 that he failed to appear, but the rest of the hearings were Judge Dixon.
Eran
Okay.
todas listas de la jueza Dixon. Y su señoría, y usted hizo la conferencia de estado del caso en septiembre y también la de vista incoatoria y toma de declaración en el 2021, que también tuvo una incomparecencia, pero el resto de las audiencias fueron con la jueza Dixon.
So I take it that Judge Dixon didn't issue any bench warrants for the calendars that he missed of hers. Is that right?
Entonces yo asumo que la jueza Dixon no emitió ninguna orden de arresto para en las listas de causas que él perdió, estuvo ausente, pero que le pertenecían a ella. ¿Es correcto?
Yes, Your Honor. The notes on Odyssey show that the defendant failed to appear and there was no interpreter. So I believe that's possibly why there was no bench warrant ever issued.
Sí, su señoría, las notas en Odyssey muestran que el acusado no cumplió con su comparecencia porque no había intérprete. Entonces yo creo que es una posibilidad que esto haya causado que se emita la orden de arresto.
Okay, thank you.
Gracias.
Mr. White?
Señor White.
Okay, there's a lot to unpack here. So I guess there was a reason that Judge Dixon did not sign bench warrants for his arrest. I don't know if it's possible that they knew they weren't going to have an interpreter and he was not required to appear. I don't know.
Creo que hubo una razón para que la jueza Dixon firmara esta orden de arresto y no sé si es posible que ellos supieran que si iba a haber un intérprete o no.
Additionally, he tells me he's been at the same address for 5 years, and I don't know that he received notice on any of the other court dates that he missed, but what address does the court have?
Adicionalmente, él me dice que ha estado en la misma dirección durante 5 años y no sé, no sé que haya recibido una notificación para comparecer en las otras fechas a las que él faltó. ¿Cuál es la dirección que tiene el tribunal?
Well, Your Honor, if that's the case, then he certainly doesn't have an excuse for all the other missed court dates, but the address that we have on file currently, I'm sorry, Mr. White, are you asking for what address he had?
What address did the notices go to?
The address.
Bueno, yo, su señoría, no sé si en este caso él realmente no tiene una excusa para las otras comparecencias que él no estuvo presente, pero cuál es la dirección que tiene el tribunal.
So the address that is online on Odyssey was 867 Park Ridge Lane, Apartment C in Roswell.
Bueno, la dirección que está en el sistema Odyssey es 867 Park Ridge Lane, el apartamento C en Roswell.
And the address was changed on October 29th to 305 Chase Lane, Apartment 305, Norcross.
Y la dirección fue cambiada el 29 de octubre al 305 Chase Lane, el apartamento 305 en Norcross.
That address is the address he gave me that he says he's been at for 5 years.
Esa es la dirección que él me ha dado y dice que ha vivido ahí durante 5 años.
He may not have been aware that there were notices going to another address.
Él puede que no haya tenido conocimiento de que había otras notificaciones que iban a otro domicilio.
And if Judge Dixon didn't take out a warrant, she may have had a reason.
Y si la jueza Dixon no emitió una orden de arresto es porque debe haber habido una razón.
And if that's the case, then this is his first missed appearance from September 5th, and we'd ask that you give him one more chance.
¿Puedo hablar?
Si ese es el caso, es que esta es la primera vez entonces que habría una comparecencia desde el 5 de septiembre. Entonces, por eso solicitamos que le puedan dar una nueva oportunidad. Señor, por favor, manténgase callado por ahora.
Okay,
Okay.
That's how you issue the warrant out for him.
Yo quiero hablar.
Hey,
I want to speak.
not yet.
Todavía no.
and Ms. Desiano, he missed my September 5th jury trial calendar. Is that the
Señora
calendar he
Desiano,
missed?
él también estuvo ausente en mi audiencia de 5 de septiembre.
Your Honor, it's my understanding it was a status conference. I'm not sure if that was coupled with a jury trial calendar. The Odyssey says it was a status conference.
Su señoría, lo que yo entiendo es que era una audiencia de actualización de estado de caso. No estoy segura que eso también se trataba con una lista de causas para ir a juicio. El sistema ahora se dice que era una conferencia de actualización de caso.
And Mr. White, you discussed with him the offer of the state in the matter, and he wants a jury trial?
Judge,
Señor White, usted habló con él el convenio declaratorio que ha propuesto la Fiscalía.
Judge, I didn't actually see the offer, so I have not discussed an offer with him.
En realidad no vi la oferta, por eso no obtuve oportunidad de hacerlo.
This is a 2019 case. Since we have him here, do you have the offer before you now, Mr. White?
I do, Judge.
Okay, so you all go
Este es un
back.
caso del 2019. ¿Tiene usted la oferta? Sí, su señoría.
I'm going to ask that you all go back into the breakout room and you convey the offer to him so that we can see, so that I know what he wants to do moving forward.
Yo voy a pedir que se los ponga de nuevo en una habitación virtual para que usted pueda decirle cuál es la oferta de la Fiscalía y para yo también saber qué es lo que él quiere hacer.
And at that time, hold on, and at that time, Mr.
Un momento.
Jimenez Garcia can discuss with Mr. White anything that he seemingly wants to discuss.
Y en ese momento el señor García puede hablar con el abogado White del tema que parece que quiere discutir con él.
No, con el juez.
So, and also.
No, with the judge.
Okay, well, if you come back out of the breakout room and you still want to discuss something with me, Mr. Garcia, I'll let you do that.
Si usted quiere hablar conmigo todavía después que hable en la habitación virtual, yo le permitiré hablar conmigo.
Está bien.
That's
Okay,
fine.
but next time, I want you to come back to me. Don't drop off the line, okay? Come back to
Pero-
the Zoom session.
Pero por favor, cuando regrese otra vez, no salga de la línea. Regrese a esta plataforma.
Es que todo lo que dijo la señorita anterior, no sé quién sea, pero es mentira. Yo no he
Well,
pedido
all
cheques.
that the other lady said is a lie.
Okay, well, discuss that with Mr. White. So,
Hable
we-
de eso con el señor White.
so let's go back into the breakout room. Ms.
Vamos a
Strong,
ponerlo de nuevo en una habitación virtual.
Ms. Strong, are you with me?
Yes, sir. I was in the process of moving them.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Mr. Haddad, are we ready for Mr. Burks?
Yeah, I stepped in. I'm gonna handle the case, Judge, since Mr. Tom is busy, so I'll.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. What are we doing with him this morning?
It's gonna be a negotiated plea, Judge.
Okay,
Tom served the way I read the offer. Is that correct, Ms. Falk?
Yes, it's 12 months served, 24 days, credit for time served, 12 days, balance suspended, and then stay away from all MARTA until December 15th of 2024. We will also be entering a null pros to position 10, the FTA.
okay, good morning, Mr. Burks. I'm Judge Eric Morrow. This is the state all-purpose calendar that we're conducting by video. Can you raise your right hand for me, please, sir? Do you swear affirm the testimony you're about to give before this court be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
No, but true.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mr. Burks. You can put your hand down. Anything further, Ms. Falk?
Nothing other than we do ask the defense to stipulate to venue, factual basis, and identification for the purposes of the plea.
We stipulate, Judge.
Mr. Burks, it's my understanding that in case 24 CR 00618-2B, you wish to plead guilty to criminal trespass. Is that right?
That's right.
Are you under the influence of any drugs or alcohol this morning?
No, sir.
You've been represented by counsel. Are you satisfied with his representation?
No, sir. Yes, satisfied. Yes, sir, I would say.
Okay, you understand that you have a right to a trial by jury on this charge, and that by pleading guilty to it, you're giving up that right?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone forced or coerced you to plead guilty?
No, sir, not actually, but I'm just pleading guilty right now.
Okay, I'll accept the plea as negotiated, Mr. Burks. You know you can't go back to, gotta stay away from MARTA until December 15th. So you can't go back there until that suspension's up. You realize that?
Yes.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Burks.
Thank you, Judge.
I guess since Mr. Haddad, do you want Mr. White to be here to go over the calendar or
No,
or
Judge,
you?
I'm ready. I have his announcement as well, Judge. For those that were not pleased, I can put on the record, Judge.
Okay, are they the same announcements that you had in the announcement that you sent to the court earlier?
Yes, Judge.
You have all those? Ms. Lewis?
Yes.
Okay, so why don't I just let her go through the calendar, and if there's anything that's different, you just let me know, okay?
Sounds good. Thank you, Judge.
Can everybody hear me? I think that as a yes. They can hear me?
Yeah, we
Everybody can hear Ms. Can y'all hear Ms. Lewis?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Position number 1, I have reset for SAP for November the 12th. Position number 2, I receive a NAWPROS. Position number 3, I have waive arraignment reset for trial further notice. Same announcement on 4. Position number 5 is a plea. Position number 6, I have reset for SAP November the 12th. Position 7, I have same announcement, reset for SAP November the 12th. Position number 8 is a plea. Position number 9 is a plea. Position number 10 is NAWPROS. Position number 11 and 12 is reset for the SAP for November the 14th. Position number 13 is going to be reset for the notice. We have an amended bonds order of $2,500, $500 on each count through pretrial level 1. Position number 14 will receive an order to set aside. Mr. White will be preparing that on the FTA. Position number 15 was a plea. Position number 16, waive arraignment, reset for trial for the notice. Position number 17, I don't have an order for a transfer to the DA's office.
You're on mute, Ms. Falk.
My apologies. I just spoke to Mr. Majeski, Deputy Majeski, today. He has accepted the case. He just hasn't sent me the transfer order. He was out sick and said he is sending it today. So if we need to reset it for a date, that's fine. But we're approved. We're just waiting for the actual order for him to send me.
I'll reset it next on the 12th. And if it's we receive it prior to that, we'll take it off the counter. And also send me the null process, not to Miss Champion.
Oh, I apologize. Thank you.
Yes. she's forwarding them to me, and I'm like, why she's not sending them to me?
Yep, that was my fault. Thank you.
You're welcome. Position number 18 is a plea. Position number 19 is reset for the SAP November the 12th. Position number 20 was a plea. Position number 21 was waive arraignment, reset for trial further notice. Same announcement on 22 and 23. Waive arraignment, reset for trial further notice. On 24, waive arraignment, reset for trial further notice. Position 25 was a plea. Position 26, waive arraignment, reset for trial further notice. Position 27, I have reset for SAP November the 12th. Position 28, what are we doing?
Not guilty. Waivers being filed.
Position number 29, defendant was released, reset for the notice. Position 30 was a plea. Position 31 and 32, waive arraignment, reset for trial for the notice. Position 34 would add on 24 CR 007450, both for a plea. Position 34 was a plea. Position 35 and 36 and 37. All waive arraignment, wait for trial for the notice. Position 38 was a plea. Position 39 was a plea. Position 40 was a plea with the add-on of 24 CR 003589H, also enter a plea. Position 41 was NAWPROS. Position 42 was a plea. Position 43 was a plea. Position 44 and 45 waive arraignment, reset for trial further notice. Any questions, concerns, or corrections? None? Okay, just send all the null process and orders to Katrina. I put that in the chat too. But I appreciate y'all sending the paperwork in a timely manner while I still have the judge in the courtroom. It makes my life easier.
And please, Miss Lewis, please thank Miss Champion for me for sending those over to you.
She's forwarding them to me.
I appreciate it.
And Judge, may I be excused?
Yes, Mr. Dodd. Have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
Dodd, make sure I get those waivers from you. Also, I got your plea paperwork, but I didn't get the waivers yet.
Yeah, I'm working on those, and I got one more plea, Nathan Burke, that I just handled. I'm about to send it to you.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, we'll be in recess until council returns.
Okay, good.
Okay, Mr. White, where are we?
Judge, he is not accepting any plea offer. And we just, and he tells me that he was actually at the court dates in front of Judge Dixon and they told him to leave. So, as for the address, the 305 Chase Lane, Norcross, he has been at that address for 5 years. And we don't think he's a flight risk. He's obviously logged on here. And so we're asking that you give him one more opportunity to make the court date.
Él no está aceptando ningún tipo de oferta. Él también me dice que estuvo presente ante la jueza Dixon y por el domicilio del 305 Chase Lane en Norcross, él ha estado ahí por los últimos 5 años. No creo que él sea un riesgo de huida. Él obviamente tiene ataduras en la sociedad. Quisiera entonces solicitarle que le dé una oportunidad más para que, ya que él ha estado presente en esta jurisdicción.
Your Honor, the court wouldn't mark this as a failure to appear in Odyssey on multiple occasions if they had told him, given him permission to leave. That doesn't make any sense. This case has been delayed 5 years almost on the sole part of the defendant.
Su señoría, usted no debería marcar, no se marca esto como una incomparecencia en el sistema de Odyssey en múltiples ocasiones si se le hubiese dicho o dado permiso a él para que se fuera. O sea, no tiene sentido. Son 5 años por parte de este acusado que ha mantenido el caso abierto.
And Judge, I would take exception to that argument that's solely on him. It was over 2 years before the case was even accused. The incident date is supposedly June 25th of 2019, was not accused until July of 2021, being COVID.
Señor juez, yo también quiero que tome la excepción de este argumento que fue solo de su parte. Llevó 2 años para que se tratara lo que supuestamente fue junio 25 del 2019 y no fue acusado hasta el 2021 en el mes de julio, lo que fue durante COVID.
Okay, anything else?
¿Algo más?
Are you finished, Ms. Chansey? I'm sorry, I didn't know. Your Honor, this case was ready for trial back in July of 2022, and it's been ongoing at this point for several times. The defendants missed 7 court dates to date, including 2 of your own court dates.
Su señoría, este caso estaba listo para ir a juicio en julio del 2002 y ha sido traído a este momento. Entonces, el acusado ha perdido 7 días de comparecencia. I believe that was the end, right?
And Judge, I would, he disputes the fact that he missed those court dates. I still maintain that if Judge Dixon didn't take out warrants, there was probably a reason. I mean, she's not going to allow somebody to not come to court over and over and over again and not sign a warrant. Additionally,
Su señoría, él disputa que el hecho de que él perdió todos esos días de comparecencia y mantiene que la jueza Dixon no hubiese permitido que se prolongara el caso de haber sido de otra manera.
Judge, first he says that he didn't get notice. Now he's at every court date and he was given permission to leave. And regardless, Your Honor, the record says what it says. We can keep belaboring the point, but there's a concern to show up to trial.
Su señoría primero dice que él no recibió las notificaciones y después que él estuvo en cada día de comparecencia. Su señoría, creo que el acta, los registros dicen que no podemos seguir permitiendo esto hasta este punto, ya que hay una posibilidad de que él no comparezca.
to be clear, we said he didn't get the September 5th notice. He told me when I first talked to him that he had never missed a court date on this case except for September 5th. He maintains that he went to court, which is accurate as far as the argument before, that he went to court. They told him no interpreter. They were going to give him another time and then bring him back. So, and there were no bench warrants taken out by Judge Dixon. It lends credence to his statement, Judge.
Para ser claro, dijimos que él no recibió la notificación para presentarse el 5 de septiembre. Y me dijo, principio, cuando hablamos de que no había perdido una fecha de comparecencia, con excepción del 5 de septiembre, él mantiene de que él fue al tribunal. One moment, please. Él le dijeron que no había intérprete y en ocasiones y que le iban a dar otra nueva fecha y después hacerlo que regresara. No hubo órdenes de arresto emitidas por la jueza Dixon, lo que le da verificación a esta declaración, su señoría.
Okay. You all done?
Nothing
Ya
further
terminé.
Nothing further.
Nada más de la defensa, nada más de la fiscalía.
Okay, so I issued the failure to appear on this matter on my ORCA calendars. Those September calendars, they were some of the last calendars that we had, and they were also very large calendars.
Bueno, yo emití la falta de comparecencia en este asunto. También en aquellos listas de septiembre y fue algo y también en las últimas listas que tuvimos.
I also know
Eran
that
grandes listas, numerosas.
it
Puedo
also came to my attention at that time that we were having some problems with the mail from other defendants on those calendars.
También se me ha llamado la atención que en ese momento teníamos problemas recibiendo correspondencia de otras personas.
And because of that, and because I'm the one who issued the FTAs, Mr. Garcia, I'm going to give you one additional opportunity.
Debido a eso y a que yo fue el que emitió la falta de comparecencia, señor García, le voy a dar a usted una oportunidad adicional.
If you miss court again, the bench warrants will not be set aside.
Si usted no asiste al tribunal de nuevo, la orden de arresto no será cancelada.
So your case is going to be returned to Judge Dixon, and you'll get notice of your next hearing date.
Entonces su caso regresa ante la jueza Dixon y usted recibirá notificación sobre su próxima fecha de audiencias.
I know that you want to speak with me regarding something, but let me just tell you that you have a right to remain silent, and anything that you say can be used against you.
Yo sé que usted quiere hablar conmigo con respecto a algo, pero déjeme decirle que usted tiene el derecho a guardar silencio y todo lo que usted diga puede ser usado en su contra.
Tell him there's nothing good can come from speaking at this point. The best possible outcome has already occurred.
Por favor, intérprete, dígale que nada de lo que pueda usted decir en este momento va a producir el mejor resultado que ya ha ocurrido.
Espero hasta mi corte para poder hablar.
Do I wait till my next appearance to talk?
Yes, it will be a different judge.
Sí, va a ser una jueza diferente.
Oh, está bien.
That's fine.
And does he understand what's just occurred? Ms. Chancey, would you ask him?
Señora Chancey, le puede preguntar si él entiende lo que acaba de ocurrir. Señor García, ¿usted entiende lo que acaba de ocurrir en esta sesión, en su caso?
Judge,
Sí,
may I just,
sí, que me van a dar otra corte y ahí voy a poder hablar con la jueza.
Yes, that I'm gonna have a new court date and I will be able to speak with the judge.
Yes.
Sí.
All right. Good luck to you,
Anything
Mr.
else,
Garcia.
Mr. White?
Thank you.
nothing now.
Gracias.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Chancey. We appreciate your help this
You're
morning.
welcome, Your Honor. My pleasure. Have a good day.
You do the
You
same.
too, Mr. White.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Chancey.
Okay. Anything else this afternoon? Anything else this afternoon? All right. I'll see you all
there
next
was-
time then.
Judge, there was
Yes.
still position 9 and 10.
We dealt with that while you were gone.
Oh, well, thank you.
And so I need to plead paperwork, Mr. White, and I need 2 orders from you. 2 orders, set aside and the amended bond order on the other guy. And then your plea
You
paperwork.
need 3. You need 2 bench warrant set-asides in the bond order, correct?
Well, I need 3 bench warrants set aside because we took care of both of the cases on a DV counter. And then you had a bench side set aside on the regular counter.
The judge said that he was setting that one aside, so just want to make sure we're on the same page. You do need a set aside
Yes.
for Mr. Davenport.
Yes, I do.
Okay, okay. All right.
Yes.
Gotcha.
So that's 3.
No worries.
Okay. We all clear? All right.